Welcome to Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee, a weekly program exploring important trends in health.
Up until recently, the major focus on multi-generational family health has been on the older end of the spectrum, the fourth and fifth generation parents and grandparents of the current baby boomers, age 65 and above, with varying degrees of chronic disease, disability, and dependence. We've presumed that the boomers, with their focus on fitness and determination of defying aging, would be healthier than their parents and grandparents, and in fact, lower disability rates are already proving this to be true. The number of Americans aged 45 to 65 has been growing by 3% per year, but disability within this population has remained flat. So why are some health researchers worried, despite this good news? Well, ironically, it appears that the real problem in multi-generational health is not with the third or fourth or fifth generations, baby boomer and older, but with the first and second generations, the teenagers and the 30-somethings, who we've always assumed would be the healthiest of all. That's right. Believe it or not, the young are getting sicker, and the potential impact on our society is enormous. Let's look at the facts. Between 1984 and 1996, disability rates in 30 to 39-year-olds had more than doubled. Between 1990 and 1998, the incidence of diabetes increased by 70% in this population. And behind this second generation is an increasingly obese first generation that has single-handedly made type 2 diabetes, formerly a disease burden associated with aging, a childhood disease. All studies point to obesity as the main culprit, a straight-line contributor to early disability. It now causes more chronic medical conditions than smoking or problem drinking. And as Ronald Leopold, a national medical director at MetLife, suggests, quotes, obesity eventually contributes to greater rates of disability, but we don't always see it right away, close quotes. Or at least we didn't used to. But now we're getting bigger sooner. And that means the collective impact, whether it be weight strain on our joints or clogging of our arteries, will be appearing decades sooner than it once did. That's bad enough. But add to it the lack of disability insurance among our second-generation workers, and we've got a very big problem. Among 18 to 34-year-olds, 2/3 have no short-term disability coverage, and 3/4 have no long-term disability coverage. When you are sick or injured, this coverage replaces 60 to 70% of your salary until you're well enough to work again. Short-term will pay you for 3 to 6 months, while long-term may cover you for years. This type of protection is especially critical to Americans, who make a practice of spending more than they save. In fact, 53% of workers admit that they, quotes, sometimes, most of the time, or always live from paycheck to paycheck with no safety net. As we look ahead at this issue, two troublesome trends are intersecting. The first is a reversal in the next 15 years of what had been declining rates of disability. For example, it's now projected that rates of fair and poor health will rise in men to 25% of the population by 2020. That's up from 21% in 1985. Coincident with these changes will be a predicted 30% increase in disability rates, from 7 to 9% of men. The second worrisome trend, as I alluded to before, is that fewer younger workers are making the effort to purchase disability coverage. Why? As U.S. businesses move aggressively to compete globally and control benefit costs, a growing number have shifted the cost of disability coverage to the workers. Predictably, a lot of the younger workers who are on tight budgets don't think they need it. As Carol Harnett of the Hartford Financial Services says, quotes, the need for disability insurance has always been there, but younger workers need to realize that their greatest asset, at least at the beginning of life, is their income, close quotes. So what's to be done? First, we all need to recognize that a problem is brewing. The numbers on childhood obesity and its connection to diabetes and to early onset disability are now well established. This means that we can now confidently predict a pronounced negative impact on individuals, families, communities, and our society if we allow obesity to progress unaddressed. Second, we need to encourage employers and their human resource professionals to do a better job in explaining to young workers the critical role that disability insurance plays in protecting them and their families by protecting their earning power. Employers' financial support and their knowledge of disability insurance, as well as preventive health and nutrition counseling, are sound long-term business investments. Third, we need to continue to study, understand, and aggressively address the social and scientific contributors to obesity, as we've done with smoking and substance abuse, including consistent messaging, critical overhaul of the marketing of poor nutrition to children, and forward-looking health policy. Finally, we need to challenge first and second generation Americans to drive their own healthy revolution. There's no reason why our children and grandchildren should not meet and exceed the boomer generation's physical, emotional, and spiritual health. For Health Politics, I'm Mike McGee.
Thank you for watching Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee. If you're accessing Health Politics with a portable device, please visit our homepage, healthpolitics.org, for more information on this topic and many others. If you're watching Health Politics on the Internet, please visit the links below for additional information. Download the transcript and slides to share with friends or colleagues, or use the discussion guide to help generate conversations in the classroom. If you are not yet a Health Politics subscriber and would like to begin receiving a weekly email to keep you up to date on our latest programs, please click on Subscribe to Health Politics above and enter your email address. Again, thank you for watching Health Politics with Dr. Mike McGee.